Hey everyone, so welcome back. Today we're going to dive into ZEGOCLOUD, which is a global communication service provider that helps developers build powerful communication features directly into their applications, whether it's video calls, live streaming, video conferences, or real-time chats. So ZEGOCLOUD provides developer-friendly SDKs and APIs to make it super easy to get started. So in this video, I'll walk you through everything step by step, from exploring the ZEGOCLOUD features to using UIKits for building live streaming apps with low code, and finally creating a live streaming app. I'll show you how to sign up for free and get 10,000 minutes. So let me show you. So we're going to get these 10,000 minutes for free when you just sign up. All right, and then you're going to grab your app ID and the app sign for which will make it possible for you to integrate the live streaming UI kits in your application. So by the end of this video, you see your own live streaming app in action, powered by ZEGOCLOUD's live streaming kits. So yeah, just stick around. Then let's get started with all that said. All right, so to get started, you simply log in or sign up. So in my case, I already have an account. I'm just going to simply log in. So when you sign up, it's going to take you to the dashboard. So on the dashboard, this is what you're going to see when you fully sign up. So you can select a use case for your app. So I'm going to select the live streaming. Then I go next. So on the next, we're going to give this application a name. So I can say Zego Live. All right, so here we're going to select the use case. So I just simply start with UIKits. So we're going to wait for this to finish. All right, so once that is loading, you can select the app that you want to build. So is in our video, we're going to use Flutter. So we just select that. Sorry. All right, so we select the Flutter, then just simply go and save and start integrating. So here we're going to see our app ID. So this is going to be the app ID, then this is going to be the app sign. So you don't have to share these with anyone. So you just have to simply copy them. They are going to help you integrate the live streaming into your application. All right. So once that is done, so then we can go back here. So I'm going to put all these links in the description. So this is the documentation, I would say. So once you go here, it's going to take you to this page. So which is just simply the quick start. So inside the quick start, we're going to select this command right here. So this command is going to install this package that we have right here. We really need this package. All right. So this package is important. So this package is simply called the ZEGO UI kit pre-built live streaming package. All right. So you can actually search for it on the pub.dev here. So this is the name. All right. So I'm just simply going to copy this, or let me just go back to the setup. So we just copy it from here. Then we go to our project. So if you haven't created the project yet, I have created a project. So you can just simply run the Flutter create and then the name of the project. So you can do that. All right, so you come down to your project, the one you're just from creating, okay, and then just paste this command. All right, so when you press this command, when you put it in your terminal, then you run your terminal. So you're basically going to get this this package right here in your pubspec.yaml. And basically, if you don't have any packages installed already, you see it under the cappuccino icons, or if there's any other packages installed previously, you can still see it under the cappuccino icons, right? So so the next thing is, let's go back to the setup. All right, so in our setup, where the next thing we're going to do is simply just import these. But for you to import these, you need to have had installed the package we're from installing, which is this in the first step. So, but before we do that, let's go back to our project. So here, I'm going to go on the main.dat. So I'll simply just clear everything going down here. Just clear that. Then I'm going to create a new folder called screens. So inside the screens folder, I'm going to create a new file called the home screen. Right, so the home screen, then I press enter. So this is what we have right here. So the home screen is just simply going to be a stateless widget. All right, so inside the home screen, we're going to have a scaffold. Then inside this scaffold, we're going to have a body. Then the body is going to hold a column. Then this column is going to have children inside it. All right, so here, so we can just basically go back to the home screen, to the main.dat, I'm sorry. And then here, we just simply call the home screen, right? Then we just import it. So you see it import on top here, right? So let's go back to the home screen. So inside the home screen, we're just simply going to have two buttons, right? We're going to have two buttons that one is going to be for the start your own stream. Then the other button is going to be for joining the stream that will be there, right? Right. So firstly, but before we do that, let's go back to our setup. So inside our setup, this is the code that we're going to have in the page that the user will be navigated to when they press on the uh, start stream or join a stream. So as we can see here, we have a string of which is just simply going to be for the live ID, right? So then the final bool, which is a boolean, which is just requires true or false, right? Then this is where we're going to have our conditional a condition, right? So if it's true, where if the person that wants to start the live is the host, we're going to go to the host, all right, to the Zego UIKit prebuilt live stream config, of which is going to the host. And then if the person that is trying, the user clicks on the join, it's going to take them to the audience, all right? So we're basically just going to copy this and then go back here. So here inside the screens, we're going to create a page and name it. Let's see the name that we have here. So it's live page, right? So just say live page dot, right? Then we just paste it in here. Then we just have to import a few things to get rid of these errors. So here we just import the package that we had installed. So let's do that. All right, so here we're going to get the live stream from our project, all right? And then we're going to get our app ID from the project, and then we're also going to get the app sign from our project. So the live ID, we currently don't have it. So here, let's go to the home screen. So inside the home screen, we're going to have two buttons, right? So we can basically create our own buttons, right? So let's create the button. So we're going to say widgets. So here, we're going to create the button. Then we say widget dot, of which is going to be a stateless widget. All right, so we're going to use this for our UI, right? So we're going to have two buttons of which are just basically going to look the same. So we're just going to change the functionalities and their names, right? So here, let's go back here. So this is what we're going to do when we're done. So here, when you come here, you can select which project you want to configure, if it's Android or if you want to configure an iOS project. So since we're dealing with Android, so here, the first step we're going to do is go to the app build.gradle inside the app. Then we just simply copy this. Let's copy this, right? So we copy this, then just simply navigate to the Android folder, then the app, then the build.gradle, then we go to the build types, right? Sorry, the dependencies. Do we have the dependencies here? So clearly we don't have the dependencies, so we can just come here, just copy the entire thing, then go back here. Then down here, we just simply paste it right there. So let's go back to check the other steps. So then the next thing is we're going to edit the min SDK version. So let's go back to our project. All right, so the min SDK version, which is just simply, sorry, let me check. Is it the min SDK version? All right, so min SDK version is going to be 21. All right, so we just simply say 21. Then let's go back here. All right, so the next thing we have to do is going to go to the compile SDK, so which is inside the app, right? The Android and then the app folder. So here we're going to give it 33. So let's go back here. Compile SDK version, when we give it 33, but currently it's now raised to 35. So we just put 35 right there. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is get the permissions. So we're going to go inside our project, then the app folder, then the SRC folder. Then inside the SRC folder, we have the main. Then inside the main, we have the Android manifest file. All right. So let's go here. Right, so inside the SRC, we have the main. Then inside the main, we have the Android manifest. So here, we're just simply going to come here, give it some spacings, then just paste the permissions here, right? So let's go back here. So inside here, then the next thing is we're going to prevent the app being obscure, right? So we're going to create a file inside our, all right, let's copy this. So we're going to create in our project, we're going to go inside the Android folder, then inside the Android folder, then we go inside the app folder. So this is where we're going to create this file, right? So let's go here. Let's go back, then inside the app folder. So we create the file, then we just paste the name. So inside there, we just copy this, just put it inside that, right? So we go here. So the next thing is we have to go inside our app build Gradle. Then we add this one to our build types, right? So let's go down to the build types right here. Then we put that there, right? So let's go back here. So the next thing is we have to run it. All right. So, but for us, we're not done yet. So let's go back to our code, right? Then we can just go back to the UI. So here we have to provide this app ID and the app sign. So these I won't show you guys. You have to generate your own. All right. So and then the live ID we can just give it. We can do this. Say test mode. All right. So since we have hard coded the live ID, so we can just simply remove it from here. So then we also remove it from here. Okay. Then the is host. All right, let's require this. So we can simply say required, so that wherever we're going to be calling this file to navigate to it, we're going to we're going to require it being put there as well. All right. So let's go to the home screen. So inside the home screen, we have two buttons that we have to make. So here we go to the button. So here we just simply make it a container. Right. So this container is going to have some width. The width is going to be double.infinity. Right. Then we're going to have a height of 60. Then we're going to have a decoration. Then we say box decoration. So inside here, we're going to give it a color. Then we say colors. Then we can give it, we can say black. Right. Then we give it some border radius. Okay, of circular 10. Then here, let's come here. Then here we're going to have void callback action, which void callback, and then we simply say on tap, right? Then the next thing is we're going to give it a name, right? So it says string. Then we give it name. So this name is going to be the name that we're going to see on the button, right? So here we just require everything. All right, so we've required everything. We've required the name and the function, which is simply called on top. All right, so we're still having an error here. So here we just have to make these properties that we have here to final. So let's do that. All right, so that error is gone. So the next thing is we're going to give this container a child. So that child is going to be a text widget. Then inside this text widget, we're simply going to have the name. Then we're going to give it a style. So the text style is going to be, we're going to give it a color. Then the color is going to be white. Then next we give it a font weight of bold. Then we give it a font size of 20, right? So this is what we're going to have for our button, but we're not done here. So the last thing that we're going to have is we're going to wrap it with a widget, and then this widget is just simply going to be a gesture detector, right? So inside this gesture detector, we're going to have an on tap. So the on tap is going to take in this function right here. So we say on tap. All right, so we're done with this. So we can just simply go to the home screen. So inside our home screen, we can just simply import our button widget. So we say button. All right, so the name is going to require a name. So let's go back to our live. So here, the first thing we're going to request, we're going to have is the host, right? So here, we're going to give it a name of which is start stream. Then let's format this. All right. So inside here, we're going to have a function. Remove this. Then this function, we're going to have a material page route, which is just going to simply navigate us to the live screen. All right. So we say navigator. All right. So navigator.push. Then here we have the material route. Material page route. Then here we're going to simply have the context. Then we simply point to the page that we have to go to, which is the live page. So we simply say live, okay, page. So we have to get this live page. We have to import it. So import it from the screens. Then this live page is going to require, is going to have a requirement. So this requirement, so this is going to require an argument, right? Sorry. So the first, this argument is going to be the boolean that we have here, if to check if it's the host that wants to start a chat or join a chat, start a stream or join a stream. Sorry. So let's go back here. So here, since it's the button is saying start stream, we can set this to true, right? Then we simply just give it a semicolon right there. So we can just copy this button right here. Then we take it here. Then we paste it right there. So here we can say join stream. All right. So here we simply set this to false. So the next thing that is remaining is just to set up the app ID and the app sign. So let me copy these from my project. So these are going to be strings, right? But before we do that, let's come here. Let's create these variables. So we say, so here we simply say we add the app ID, which is not obviously this. So then the next thing is we add the app sign. Then the app ID, we are going to call it on the app ID, of which the app ID is an integer. So we call it there. Then the app sign is going to be a string, right? So we can do that, right? So let's do that now. All right, I've put everything right there. Then here I can just change this name to the app sign that I've created on top there. So the errors are gone. All right, so the next thing we have to deal with is let me go up here. So here we just make these final. So that can be final. Then this is going to be a final as well. All right, so that error is gone. So we basically don't have errors right now. All right, so let's try to power up the emulator and see what we have. All right, so the emulator is on. Let's try to run the application and see if we have any errors and things that we need to fix right here. All right, so we have a bit of some errors. So let's clear those. Let's go to the build.gradle. So here we are going to put some equal signs here. And on the main SDK version, then let's try to reload this and see if this is going to fix that. Right? All right, so the application is here. So let's go to try to style this up a little bit. So let's go to the home screen. Sorry, let's go to the button widget. So here we're going to simply just wrap this with the center widget. All right, so let's go here, then just center it. All right, then let's reload it. All right, so that has loaded up. So let's put this, let's give this a little bit of some padding at the end. So here we're just simply going to give it symmetric, then we say horizontal. Then we give it, let's give it 16. All right, so that's what we have so far. Right, so after wrapping it with the padding of horizontal, and then which is just simply 16. So let's go to the home screen. So inside the home screen, we can go here. Then we give it the main axis alignment. Then we give it the main axis alignment of center. All right, so it's down here on the center. So let's give this background color of white. We simply say colors dot white. All right, let's refresh that. All right, so the next thing is we have to come inside here, then give it some spacing. Then the spacing, we can give it 20 so that we have spacings between the elements that's inside the column, which are basically the children. So, all right, this is what we have so far. Then if we can go to we can go here on the live page, and then we just put the user ID. Okay, so as we actually need the user ID. Let's go back here. So we actually need this user ID. So we have to make our own user ID. All right. So let's go to application. I'm just going to simply hard code that one. So let's go to the live page. Sorry. So inside our live page, we can just simply, right? We can just simply go here and start. We can start with it can just basically be a string. All right, so we basically give it we just simply hard code the user ID. So the user ID, we can come down here on the user ID and just basically put the user ID that we're from making right here on top. So this has to be a final as well so that we get rid of these unnecessary errors on top there. So the next thing is we have to go to the username. We can simply use the username on the, you can simply just say username. Then we, put the user ID right there. All right, so let's try to reload this and see what we have. So the next thing is we can just go on the start stream. All right, so let's wait for that to load. All right, so as we can see, we have a camera icon here, well, which is just a symbol for rotating to the back camera or the front camera. All right, so we have here, we have the beautification. So this, you can add a little bit of some filters to your subject or yourself. If the person that's on the camera, yeah, maybe you or your subject. So let's go on and start. Okay, so the stream has started. So we actually have one user, and then we can see the username right there on top. So this is coming from this username, user ID that we've made here. And then as you can see, we've concatenated it right here. We have the username, then the user ID at the end, right? And then we actually have one person watching, which is just basically us in this case. So then we can go down here. You can write something in the stream. Then you can add some filters right here. You can add some background music. Then you can rotate the camera to your liking. Then you can stop the camera, then you can mute yourself if you that calls for it. So yeah, this is the stream, right? So let's check out the join stream. All right, so that is closing. Right, so we're back to the home screen. All right, so then right here we can go back to the join stream. So on the join stream, we basically don't have much. We just have the number of current users watching, and then we have an input field down here where you can just simply write something for the stream, right? This is more like a comment, writing comments directly to the stream. All right, so this one basically doesn't have much, I would say. Then we can just close it. So yeah, so as I was saying, this is how easy it is for you to make a live streaming app using the ZEGOCLOUD Live Streaming package, right? So we just basically install this package. Let me take you back a little bit. So you just basically install this package. You can find it on the ZEGOCLOUD documentation, or you can go and look for it on pub.dev, which is where we usually get our Flutter packages from. So this is ZEGOCLOUD UIKit prepared live streaming. All right. So this is what I had for you today. So if you've gotten any value from this, then if you have reached this far, you can simply like or subscribe. Who knows where we go next, right? So yeah, this is what I had for you guys today. So with all this said, see you in the next video.